So, car is back and it's wrapped. And it's looking good. Gone for a slightly different front this time. There's like a gloss black centre section now, so you've got this kind of forks coming down here, which makes it look a little bit more aggressive. This has completely come out though, which is one of the reasons I'm about to take the front bumper off again, to have another go at getting that in properly. Now there are still a few little bits to do. I need to try and put these in properly, because like I said, they don't quite fit at the moment. Need to get the badge on. Yeah, I need to get the oil cooler seal connector, whatever you want to call it, replaced. Which is going to be fun because there's going to be oil pissing everywhere as I try and do that. I also need to just finish mounting the washer bottle properly and test the headlight washers and the windscreen wiper washers. But yeah, after that, we're pretty much finished. Well, I'm completely finished, in fact. So I took it for its first proper test drive the other day with some friends. When I say proper, I mean like fast and hard driving. And it held up pretty well. No problems, engine seemed to be fine. It did get abused. Yeah, I didn't exactly take it easy on it, and yeah, everything was fine, no problems. So yeah, let's whip the front bumper off yet again. Sick of taking this off, and I've got to be quite careful this time because it's wrapped now. Obviously, I don't want to scratch or damage anything. Trying to get this to fit properly. Realised why this one is worse than the other side. It's because the thread that's supposed to hold it on, which is supposed to be about there, it's snapped clean off. So both of them as well. There's supposed to be one there and one there. Okay, so I've got this one in quite a bit better now. Basically ended up gluing my own bolt on. Just got one of these bolts, mixed some of this plastic repair glue stuff, and just glued a bolt on and then did it up. So yeah, it's going to work for now. Whether it'll stay on, I don't know. Oil seal is off. Wait for this to drain. So it's pretty much finished dripping away now. So I've got the replacement connector. Let's stick that on. Okay, so it's all on and tightened up. So I'm just going to run the engine for a few minutes and just make sure nothing leaks out. I've also topped up the oil a little bit just to account for the bit that we lost when we opened the pipe up. Okay, some of you might remember from when I was having all the fun with the blow-off valve hoses that I've got plenty of spare hose left. And it's supposed to go down into here somewhere. There, it's supposed to go into there. I was going to order the original Toyota one, but it was quite expensive for a bit of hose, so I thought I may as well just use the stuff I've got. I think that's on. Feed this through a bit more. Aha, there it is. Okay, so that's kind of on there, you can see. Quite nervous because I don't know if I've really sealed all this properly. So there might just be fluid pisses everywhere when we try and do this. Let's find out. Haha, it's made it. Oh, and it's pissing out there. That's what I thought might happen. Fuck's sake. Any leaks? A tiny bit. Yeah, kind of. I mean, it is nearly empty, so probably normal. How are we doing for oil? So we're looking clean for oil. Yep, no leaks there. Looking promising. So headlight washers are working now. It's not actually leaking from in there now, which is good. There's a tiny leak coming from the windscreen washer pump. Now that I've sorted this one out, now this one's leaking. But I've tried to cover that up with some resin glue stuff that'll just set solid, so we'll see if that's alright. Just need to replace this now. Again, not the prettiest thing ever, but it'll do. It's not going anywhere, so job done. Right, so it's time to put the front bumper on for hopefully the last time. I'll probably end up having to take it off at some point to fix something that I've not thought about, but yeah, washer bottle's all in properly, doesn't seem to be leaking anymore. Oil cooler mount has been oiled up so that it doesn't rust, because that's started to rust a little bit. Oil cooler seal has been replaced, which I think is okay, but we'll see. Let's get this back on and hopefully never take it off again. All finished, finally. Well, apart from the badge. Okay, so it's not quite finished, but it's pretty much finished. Just need to put the wheels back on. I think I'm going to put the proper wheels back on. The ones that actually look nice instead of these shite OEM ones. So now that's all finished, I'll go out and film a few bits of it, so you can properly see the new bits on the front, because it does look quite different the front now, because we've got headlights that, alright, they look pretty similar to the standard ones, but they're black on the back rather than sort of chrome like the original ones are. We've got the new carbon fibre cooling duct things, we've got this black bit across the bottom, so it does look a bit different to how it used to. So yeah, we'll get it out, I'll give it a wash, and show you it out in the open. Been what, 4 weeks since the crash, since the incident. So yeah, so it's pretty much finished. Get the badge on and then she's done. But yeah, what do we think of the black bit at the front? Yay or nay? I feel like a lot of people hate it just because it's the internet and people hate things. But yeah, I like it. You like it? Yeah, I like it. It's a bit different, isn't it? Yeah. Carbon fibre things are cool. It's just a shame they don't fit a bit better. But yeah, they're good. Oh,
black badge would be sweet.
I did think that. Yeah. Because the headlights now have got like a black back to them rather than chrome. Plastered at the badge, good call. Yeah. Or just spray it black. But yeah, job done. So, all done. Finally. I'd say finally, it's only been like 3 or 4 weeks, but it feels like ages. So let's give like a summary of this experience then. Things I've learned. Well, I guess on the one hand, don't crash a car. That was probably kind of a given. Toyota parts are pretty cheap for the most part, but some of them don't make much sense. Like the front bumper, the entire front bumper sort of shell cost less than a bit of rubber hose that goes from the windscreen washers to the pump in the washer bottle. So, oh sorry, the headlight washers. So yeah, it's a little bit random, some of the pricing, but while we're on the subject of price as well, a lot of people have asked how much it's cost so far, like as we've been going through, and I kept saying, well, we'll do like a summary at the end and go through the costs. Now, I've not kept track of every single little bit, so I can't give you the exact prices of stuff, but I would say in total, now this is for the 2 replacement wheels, because these are quite expensive, the wheels, the headlights and the bonnet were the most expensive bits. So wheels, headlights, bonnet, front bumper, wing or fender, somebody corrected me, that should be called a fender. I've always called it a wing. What else was there? All the hoses and stuff, like I said, the washer bottle pumps, because all that stuff kind of adds up, to be honest. Like, it's all little bits, but it all adds up. What else do I have to replace? The new crash bar structure thing at the front, loads of bolts and pop clips and things like that. I feel like there's a lot more that I've replaced, but I can't remember half of it now. But yeah, lots of little trim bits and things that you don't even notice that are there until you have to replace them. So yeah, so for all of that, it's been about £3,000, somewhere around there. Probably a little bit over, to be honest. Probably a little bit more than £3,000, which is a lot of money, but I still stand by the decision not to get track day insurance. Somebody was arguing with me about this in the comments on a previous video. It's all right saying, oh well, track day insurance for my mate's car is only 50 quid or whatever, but he's probably not 26, well I'm 27 now, but I was 26 when I was doing a lot of track days. 26 with a supercharged R8. Like, insurance is a fucking fortune without track days. Like, it took me ages to even find a company that would insure me at all once I'd modified the R8. Like, getting insurance on its stock wasn't too bad, but once you've stuck a supercharger on it, no one wants to know. So like, the cheapest I ended up getting it for was about £1,800, with like nearly £2,000. And that's with like 6 years no claims and all this. So yeah, then adding track day insurance on as well, it'd just be a fortune. And track day insurance tends to only cover you for like X number of track days. The ones I looked at before, it was like 3 track days or something like that. And that was for the Lotus Elise that I had that on. And that, yeah, that wasn't particularly expensive because it's a fairly low cost car, it's a fairly low powered car, and it was only for 3 track days. But if I looked at getting insurance for the R8 for every track day I've done in it, the GT86 for every track day I've done in it, the M235i for every track day, the M3, like, it would all add up to so much that I honestly think I would be better off still just paying for a crash when it happens. Just to clarify as well, I've got nothing against track day insurance. I completely understand why a lot of people use it, but like for me, this car at least, I can afford to repair most things that are going to get damaged in a crash. All right, if it's a complete fireball and it's a write-off, yeah, I'm kind of screwed. But if it's a kind of normal crash, then, well, there is really such a thing, but yeah, if it's not anything ridiculous, I know I can afford to repair it. So I would rather take the risk and say, if I have a crash, and it's probably going to be my fault, let's be honest, then I'll accept that I'm going to pay for it. Instead of paying somebody else to, like, every track day that I do, and then I might not ever get any use of it out of that money. Say I was paying £100 for every track day, if I don't crash, then that's just £100 down the drain that I've not got anything for. Whereas if I just keep doing track days and only pay for them, this road is so bumpy. If I just keep doing track days and only pay if I crash, then to me that works out better. Like, you're not gambling, you're not just thinking, oh, well, if I do have a crash, this money will cover me, but if I don't, then I've just wasted it. I'd rather just, if I crash, I'll pay for it myself. So yeah, it's cost me a lot of money to repair, but it's been interesting, I've enjoyed doing it. It's quite nice to be driving around in a car that I know I've fixed up myself, and taking pictures of it yesterday and taking the video clips that you've just seen. It looks pretty much as good as new. Now there are some little bits that aren't quite perfect, but for most people just walking past or looking at the car or seeing it driving past, it looks as good as new. It's only because I've done the repairs myself that I know that there's these little bits that don't quite line up, or there's some little bit there that's not exactly how it's supposed to be, but yeah, for the most part, no one would notice at all. Sounds so good. In January I bought this car and we started doing the modifications to it. Like, before that I'd never modified a car, I'd never done any work on a car myself at all. Okay, it's always something that I wanted to do, but I always just felt like I didn't have a clue where to start. That was one idea of getting this car, was that I could learn to work on a car myself. And it's worked out pretty well in that, Bald Yoda's been showing me how to do things, I've been researching things, learning how to do things, and we've done all these modifications up to this point, and then I've crashed it, and I've already got the confidence to work on it. Like, a lot of people have said in the comments, like, they wouldn't sort of dare try and repair it themselves. And I would have been exactly the same like 6 months ago, or maybe a year ago. But now, because we've done all these modifications and stuff to it ourselves, and I'm used to taking things apart, and I know roughly what I'm doing, like, it's fine. I didn't even think twice, to be honest, about getting someone else to do it. I just thought, oh, well, I can take all the broken stuff off, find out what's broken, buy new ones, and then put the new ones in. Like, it's that simple. Alright, it didn't turn out to be quite as simple as I was hoping, but I managed to figure it all out myself in the end. Bald Yoda did come and help for a couple of little bits, but for most of it I just did it on my own in my spare time in my garage. So yeah, I'm pleased that I've actually managed to do it all myself. So what's next then? I've got some new brake calipers and discs and braided lines and pads to fit for the front, because I was never that happy with these brakes. Then we've got all the forged engine internals to get in, which is going to be quite a big job. Like I explained previously, we're not putting the actual internals in ourselves, but we will be taking the engine out of the car and transporting it down to the place that's going to do it, and then bringing it back and putting it back in, which I'm quite nervous about, I'll be honest, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Oh, and also a couple of people asked if it's kind of knocked my confidence if I'd want to do any more track days again. I'll be honest, as much as I would love to say, no, it's not knocked my confidence at all, just get back on the horse, do it again. And that's kind of my mentality, but if I'm being completely honest, it has knocked my confidence a little bit, and I think that's inevitable. I do want to do more track days, definitely. Doubt I'll get to do any more before the end of the year, because it's getting towards winter now and the weather's shit most of the time. Yeah, next year definitely will do some more. Just, I think the first few times I go around that same corner I'm going to be really wary. But other than that, I think I'll be fine. So I think that's pretty much it. I mean, I've covered the cost, like I say, roughly around £3,000, and that's with the chassis repair and everything. The wrap was another, I think it's 500 quid, or maybe 600 quid on top of that to get the front and the side. And I got the driver's side door done as well, because there was a few scuffs on that. And the new wing, yeah, all those bits. And they're also going to do the spoiler as well, but I haven't actually done that yet. I'm going to take that off and take it to them separately. So yeah, so probably like £3,500 by the time you factor in the wrap and everything. So a lot of money, but could have been a lot worse. The amount of bits that were damaged and the amount of things I had to sort out, and the fact that this chassis was slightly bent, I was expecting it to be a lot worse. So I'm reasonably happy with that, to be honest. Like, obviously I'd rather not have to spend £3,000 due to my own stupidity, but it happened, and that's kind of one of the best outcomes I could hope for, really. So yeah, next task is to get the new brakes installed and take the engine out. And I also still need to get the injectors sorted and the wastegate actuator looked at, because I don't know if you remember before the crash, I had a few issues with the turbo wastegate. It was either building up too much pressure or not any pressure or whatever, and there was something not quite right, and we never really did get to the bottom of that. At the moment it drives okay, but it's not as good as it used to be, so there's still something up with that, and the injectors still need sorting out so that it doesn't have this weird issue on warm startup. But yeah, they're small things that I think I'm just going to wait until after the engine is rebuilt before I go messing about with them. So I think that'll pretty much do it. That's the end of the repair videos and the end of this video. The main takeaway, I guess, is don't crash your car. Yeah, who knew?